Really sticky. Hi, I'm Danielle.
Hi, I'm Micah.
Hi, I'm Joelle.
Hi, I'm June.
Hello, I'm Howard.
Growing up in San Francisco as a Chinese and Korean family, we definitely ate a lot of dumplings growing up. Now I'm challenging my family members to each make their own individual dumplings, and then we're gonna have a taste test to see whose is the best.
My dumplings are unique because they look like little clams, like little ocean bivalve situation. I don't know what I really put in them. I went more for the aesthetic. Hopefully they taste good.
So this one is Danielle's, which is sort of obvious by the ruffle. I think it's very cute, but not Chinese or Korean.
These look like Uncrustables. So I can't say that's particularly appetizing. However, I shouldn't judge just on aesthetics.
Give it a good grade for the way it looks.
But Danielle always does this, and I always make fun of her for it, so whatever.
It definitely looks like she threw some kimchi in there because it's kind of pink. It's interesting because to fold it this way, you have to add less filling.
There's like lots of like loose skin.
I would say this is a pretty good dumpling as well. I taste the pork first, and then I could also taste a little bit of the chives.
This tastes like only pork.
I like this one. She had some kimchi for the spice, which I like. I do wish she were heavier on the shrimp though, and not the pork, because it is just kind of like a little meatball.
I feel like it doesn't have like the normal soy sauce, sesame oil. Yeah, it just doesn't taste Asian, but it tastes fine.
I give it a solid 8.
I think maybe a 6, only because I don't like the skin flaps.
An 8 or a 9, I really liked it.
5 to 6.
Mine has a little bit of everything. It's just like a solid pork dumpling. I also think that mine are folded really nicely. I actually made it for myself for lunch today, and I thought they were pretty good. Taste good with soy sauce. I think they're cute.
It looks good. It's got a little bit of a design to it.
It's like a 4-fold situation. Isn't it like the more folds, the longer you live or something? No?
It looks like she includes some veggie, which is good because Micah normally doesn't like vegetables that much.
Tastes good.
I think it would have been flavored a little bit better, seasoned better.
Tastes like a meatball texture.
The seasoning is very light. I kind of wish she included a little bit more spice, maybe some more like soy sauce or ginger. But I can definitely taste a lot of garlic.
It tastes mostly pork, so it's pretty one-dimensional.
I wouldn't change anything about it. I think it's pretty good.
I think it's like a 7.
I like it with the sauce, maybe a 9.
It's kind of bland. I would give it maybe like 5.
A 7. My dumpling is just a classic rendition. Added a lot of different types of seasoning. Obviously salt and pepper, but also ginger, garlic, and my secret ingredient is truffle.
I can automatically tell whose everybody is by the way that they fold their dumplings.
So this is Dad's.
And I like these the most because they have the most filling, so.
I'm excited to try my dad's because I know it'll be very heavily stuffed. But I also saw him put like a lot of very strange seasonings that I don't know if they belong in dumplings.
Ooh. Really sticky. It like stuck to the roof of my mouth.
My dad used a food processor to blend everything together.
I like seeing the chunks of stuff in it to know that it was all like sort of made by hand rather than put in a food processor.
So I don't really love how it tastes. The texture is a little too mush.
I actually think it's pretty good. I don't know why I'm so surprised. There's just like a lot in there.
I just think there's a little too much going on. I can't really tell what the distinct flavor is.
I don't know how to feel about this one. And then I'll give it like a 7.
5 out of 10.
I would say it's an 8 out of 10.
I would give it a 5 out of 10, but since I know Howard made it and he never makes dumplings, I would say for effort, a 9 out of 10.
In my dumplings, I like to include a lot of vegetable, and honestly, the less meat, the better. I like seafood in mine, so I added shrimp, but no pork. I also like a lot of different seasonings, so I use 5-spice, I use XO sauce, and of course, soy sauce and sesame oil, and hopefully it tastes all right.
Nothing extraordinary about it, but it looks fine.
Nice folds.
The traditional way to wrap things. It's supposed to look like gold nuggets, I think they call it ingots, that the Chinese people use to trade.
There's a lot of kimchi.
This one's a lot chunkier.
It doesn't have the traditional flavor profile that I'm looking for. I can't put my finger on it.
It's a little spicy, more spicy than I like because it has kimchi in it, which sadly I don't like that much.
There are lots of vegetables, lots of kimchi, which I like. I think it's pretty flavorful. It feels very healthy. I would want more meat and more garlic.
Out of 10, I would give it a good 7.5.
6. Just keep noticing how spicy it is.
I would rate it an 8 out of 10.
7.5.
I think I made them the traditional Chinese way, the way my mother made them, and she's from Shandong province, which is known for all their dumplings and noodles. I added also a little bit of tofu, which is more an element that my Korean mother-in-law introduced to me. And I made homemade wrappers instead of the store-bought wrappers.
I'm the most excited to try my mom's because she made these skins by hand.
Such a luxury to be able to make homemade skins, so I'm really excited. Obviously that means that they don't look as perfect, but I don't mind.
I hate to say it, but it looks the worst. It looks kind of wimpy and there's no real form to the dumpling.
Ooh, tastes like ravioli.
This one has a very different flavor. She didn't use any kimchi, at least not that I can see. I can definitely taste like the 5-spice seasoning that she used.
I feel like it has the right level of juiciness. I don't know, some of them like Danielle's were like a little dry. It feels like a harmony of textures.
It's not really that flavorful, which is why I think it tastes like ravioli.
I don't like the flavor profile of Mom's either. It has to be a nice balance of both meat and some of the vegetables. I like a little bit of heat.
I think the skins really do a lot for it.
I'd probably give this like a 9.
I give this a kind of a low score, 6.
I think it's probably a 9 out of 10.
I think a 6 for dumpling, but a 9 for ravioli.
Yay, I won! The traditional Chinese flavors taste the best with the handmade homemade skins. Thank you.